Was the Watcher ever caught? Who was the Watcher? Was he ever caught? What happened after that? So many people with so many questions. Are you also one of those? If yes, well, you've landed in the right place. Hello there! One of the most captivating series that aroused suspicion among people. But have you ever wondered if the Watcher got caught or not? This is surely going to be your question if you've watched the series or even know about the story. But did you get your answer? Here, you're going to find the answer in our video, so please subscribe to Stalker Stories. Here we're going to find out, was the Watcher ever caught? But before we come to the conclusion, let us get a quick review of this amazing series on Netflix. And without wasting any time, let us begin with our story. People have started to get the shivers when watching The Watcher on Netflix, and it's much worse to consider that the plot is based on true occurrences. According to an article written by Reeves Wiedeman and published in New York Magazine, a family that moved into their ideal house in Westfield, New Jersey in 2014 soon discovered that they weren't the only ones who had their sights set on 657 Boulevard. The fictional Brannock family, based on the real-life Broaddus family, moves into the house and is plagued by an unknown letter writer throughout the 7 episodes of Ryan Murphy's co-created and co-written series. The plot follows the Brannock family as they settle into their new home at 657 Boulevard. Dean, his wife Nora, who is played by Naomi Watts, and their children Ellie, which is Isabella Gravitt, and Carter, played by Luke David Blum. All the truth and lies regarding the Watcher are laid out here, so please make sure you watch our full video and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Now, let's move back to the story. A slew of letters started arriving at the genuine Broaddus family's home. Derek Broaddus, the real-life inspiration for Bobby Cannavale's Dean Brannock in the program, said in the original tale that he had discovered a message in his mailbox before he and his family moved into their new home. There's a note inside the mail marked "The New Owner" that claims someone's been keeping an eye on the property for quite some time. My family has been interested in 657 Boulevard for many years, and now, as it nears its 110th birthday, I am responsible for keeping an eye out for its second coming. In the 1920s, my grandpa kept watch. In the 1960s, my father did. Today, it's my turn. Can you tell me about the home's past? Do you have any idea what goes on inside the 657 Boulevard building? Why are you even here? The first letter said. I will find out. And that's exactly what I intend to do. There have been 4 letters written by the Watcher over the period of a year and a half. The Broaddus has said that the letters became progressively more threatening over time, providing ever more granular evidence of the family's surveillance. I can follow you as you go from room to room at 657 Boulevard, since I can see out every window and door. I don't even know who I am. I am the Watcher, and I have been in charge of 657 Boulevard for the better part of 2 decades, said the second letter, which arrived a few months later. However, the Broaddus family never really occupied the 657 Boulevard address. The events of the Watcher occur inside that house. The Broaddus family never lived at the house they purchased for $1.4 million. Instead, it was leased out and then sold in 2019 for $959,000. Maria Broaddus and her children, who were aged 2, 3, and 5, decided to remain in their previous Westfield residence until it sold after receiving the first letter, at which point they all relocated to Maria's parents' home. The actors discussed the genuine tale that served as the show's inspiration. When asked by Today whether they were familiar with the genuine tale before accepting their parts, actors Bobby Cannavale, Naomi Watts, and Noma Dumezweni, who portrays private investigator Theodora Birch, all said they weren't. As an example, I recall thinking, geez, these individuals have truly gone through this. The first thing that sprung into Dumezweni's mind after hearing the tale was, this genuinely exists in the world. Watts said she could identify with parts of the story. I put myself in their place, and I think most of the audience could do the same. Just when you think you got it, that's when it all falls apart, she remarked. For these folks, I had compassion. Actress Mia Farrow, who portrays the Brannock scary next-door neighbor Pearl Winslow, said she didn't learn they were acting out a true event until production had already begun. According to Farrow, they failed to inform me that it was a genuine story. When I was on set for episode 2, I was casually informed that, this truly occurred. Farrow said she was informed that she would be participating in a Ryan Murphy production and that she would be brought nowhere she'd ever gone before, but that she was not informed of the original events. The Broaddus family began receiving media attention as they persisted in their quest for the alleged stalker, bringing the case to the attention of people all across the country. Actress Jennifer Coolidge, who plays Nora Brannock's sassy real estate agent friend Karen Calhoun, said she remembers reading about the incident in the news. When this incident occurred, I was there, therefore I remember it well. When it first happened, it was all over the news. It was a huge, terrible, spooky tale that I don't believe many of us will forget, Coolidge recalled. I was living on the East Coast at that time. The real-life tale of John List, another piece of Westfield mythology, is also included in The Watcher. Murphy's tale diverges from the original report once the Brannock family moved in, which Canavale called a jumping-off place. The Watcher, for instance, alludes to another horrific event in Westfield's history. In the film, Dean meets a guy called John Graff, played by Joe Montello, a former resident of 657 Boulevard. It's believed that John was inspired by Westfield resident John List, who in 1971 murdered his wife, mother, and children before disappearing for 18 years. A bust of what prosecutors thought List would look like today was shown on an episode of America's Most Wanted, which led to his capture after he had relocated to Virginia and remarried. However, in real life, the Broaddus' storyline and the List did not intersect as deeply as they did on the program. List's home was a 19-room Victorian estate at 431 Hillside Avenue in Westfield, about 2 miles from the address of 657 Boulevard. Additionally, several of the locals sat on their porches and observed events at 657 Boulevard. The real estate agent Karen is a composite of many characters from The Watcher, but the neighbors Mitch, played by Richard Kind, and Mo, played by Margot Martindale, who keep an eye on the home from their lawn chairs, may have been influenced by a real incident. New York Magazine's feature on the Broadduses, the people who lived in the home behind 657 Boulevard, included a piece of information that had been supplied with Reeves by the couple's house painter, Bill Woodward. I was gazing out the window one day, and there was an elderly gentleman sitting on one of the chairs, Woodward said to The Cut. He was staring directly toward the Broadduses instead of his own home. This would surely have increased your interest in the story and asked you if the Watcher got caught or not. And the answer will surely blow your minds. The private investigator the Broadduses hired, Theodora Birch, is fictitious. This mystery was never solved. Much as in the show's finale, the Watcher was never apprehended. Police, detectives, and the FBI spent years looking into the case, pouring through letters, studying DNA evidence, and questioning neighbors in an effort to identify the sender of the messages. The episode ended on a cliffhanger since no one knew who the Watcher was at the time, and that mystery remains unsolved. According to the Union County Prosecutor's Office, although the investigation is not open at this time, it has also not been closed. So, that's going to do it for this video. Please let us know in the comment box what you all thought about it, and also let us know if you've been able to relate this video with facts. Hey, like it and share it with your friends and family. And also, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you always get a notification of all of our latest videos. And thanks for watching.